All right, hello. Welcome everyone to the Monday night live stream. Today we're going to be talking about fish combinations. Like, what is your favorite combination of fish in your community aquarium? The reason I like talking about this every once in a while is it gives a lot of ideas to a lot of people on what they do. Because again, one of the most common questions we get is, what should I do with my 10 gallon? What should I put my 40? And these types of conversations help answer those questions. So as always, we'll give it a few minutes for people to roll in. While we're waiting, you can check out that pinned link from Dan's Fish. Save 10% off your very first order if you've never ordered. Dang, this chair. From Dan. And just lots of cool, high quality fish over there. So check out the link. I would appreciate it. And so would Dan. I did get a text from Dan last hour saying that there's going to be Corydoras napioensis, which is become pretty popular since I've been talking about it. So if you've been looking for that fish, keep an eye on the website. Hopefully, he said by the end of the week they should be good to go. So I'm looking forward to that. I might pick up a couple for myself because I think I only have 5 or 6. Oh, boy, everyone active in chat already. I like it. Whips World, hello. Well, I'll just say hello to everyone. All right, there's too many people here already to single out everyone. So hello, everyone. Hello. That's my Dan's Fish impersonation, but it's not very good. Hello. I should work on it, maybe. So if you've been around the channel for any amount of time, you should know my favorite combination. Anything to do with rainbows, apistos, and Corydoras in the same tank, I'm going to be all about that. But I will talk about some different combos just to try to get a little variety. Obviously, Corydoras are kind of my thing now. I think I'm up to over 20 species now, which is pretty awesome. It wasn't horrible. Hello! I don't know. You always sound different in your head than what you actually sound like, so it's very hard for me to do impersonations because I never really know what it sounds like. I'll be like, hey, that was a pretty good impersonation, and then I'll like watch it back or listen to it back, and I'm like, that was terrible. Get to the chopper. I don't know. Terrible. So if you have your favorite combinations, put them in chat. Let's get some ideas out there. Because everyone is always looking. Mitchell Broom, what's going on? Mitchell, I recommended you today because Danikin reached out to me and asked if I would give a talk at Fishtoberfest. And I was like, why don't you get a real hobbyist, a real breeder? Ask Mitchell Broom. I don't know if you give talks, but I just threw you under the bus either way. I don't know if he'll reach out or whatever, but I'm just thinking, like, I would rather hear a talk from you than a talk from a YouTuber. So, again, I don't know if you do talks, but I threw you under the bus. Maybe he'll contact you. Maybe he won't. But I think it'd be pretty cool. Medcal says, my 72 gallon, I'm going to guess that's a bow front. I have 11 Corydoras, 15 or so red pencil fish, 5 Harlequin Rasbora, 2 autos, and 2 pearl gouramis. That sounds pretty funny, or pretty fun, not funny. But I would get more Harlequin Rasboras. I don't know, maybe you had more and they're just slowly dying off, or maybe you plan to get more, but I love Harlequin Rasboras, like a big giant school of them. It's pretty awesome. It says, I've only done local talks so far. Well, they will generally like pay for you to come out, so I don't know, it could be fun. It could be fun, and you know, maybe they ask you, maybe they come, and maybe you bring some Corydoras. I don't know. some Bosemani Corydoras to be exact. Those are beautiful. Wait, so he's back in charge of Fishtoberfest? I heard it was back to 2 days. It is back to 2 days. He's not in charge of it. I might have left my door open. I'll be right back. We're going to have an early intermission. All right. I did leave my door open, but the dogs didn't make it far. So I looked over and noticed I only had one dog sitting here, and I normally have 3. But they didn't make it that far. We're back. I'm back. And yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool. But no, Daniken is not in charge. He was going to recommend, I guess, to the board. I don't even know if I should be even saying this, but whatever. If you message me, pretty good odds are I'm going to talk about it in a stream. So just be aware. If you say, don't say anything, then I won't say anything. But if you don't, then I'm going to say something. So yeah, it could be pretty fun. And, you know, maybe they, like I said, maybe they reach out, maybe they don't. Angie says, Fishtoberfest, I've never heard of it. What am I missing? It's a 2-day event in the fall in Portland, Oregon. Fish event that usually involves an auction, vendors, your typical kind of fish show, I guess, put on by the Portland Aquarium Society. Brandon says, I have CPDs, pygmy cories, autos, a lizard loach, and neos. Neos don't produce fast enough, though. It must be I'm sure the loach picking him off then, because I can't imagine the pygmy cories and CPDs doing it. But yeah, loaches, they'll go after shrimplets for sure. Remember to like so more people see the stream. That is, I don't think I mentioned that. Remember to hit the like. Matt West says, I like Paleotis Cory and Guppy combo. Heater optional. That is 100% true. I don't think I've ever had a heater in my salt and pepper Cory tanks. Like, ever. They can go pretty cold. Well, I won't say cold, but like down into the 60s pretty comfortably. Ken Cox says, I just got a 125 and slowly adding about 30 Bosemani and Goiter River rainbows. Also have about 10 Corridora punctatus in quarantine, and we'll add those. My punctatus did not do well. I think I only have 2 left. Again, coming from that batch of Corys where I just lose like 1 a month for whatever reason. The other Corys in the tank I have Corridoras Robinet with them. Haven't lost a single one. I've got in the same tank orange laser grow outs. Haven't lost a single one, but the punctatus, they're just dropping every couple weeks. Very frustrating. Curtis Schindler with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, my friend. My new favorite come Thursday will be my dwarf red-tail eel from Dan and older orange Venezuelan Cories. Yeah, we briefly talked about Venezuelan Cories in the last stream, and I feel like it's a fish that doesn't get enough recognition as far as Cories go. The Venezuelan Corridora, it's kind of a cheaper Equios, not as much orange, but still a pretty decent amount of orange. Johnny from Dan's Fish says, my gold lasers were down in the lower 50s when I finally brought them in last fall. Wow, the lasers, huh? I haven't heard that about lasers. That's good to know. Emma says, I'm struggling with my black Venezuelan Corridoras at the moment. Emma, I bought some black Venezuelans from a wholesaler, and I think I got 12 was the minimum. And of those 12, I have 3 left. The Fish Room, an LFS in New Mexico, sent me, I don't even know how many, but a good amount, at least a dozen black Venezuelans, and I haven't lost a single one of those. And what's really crazy is they're just growing so fast. I probably got them at like an inch and a quarter, maybe, and some of them are already over 2 inches, and I've only had them for a couple months. It's insane how fast they're growing. So yeah, there's definitely some quality issues with corridors when it comes to wholesalers, exporters, importers, which is unfortunate. Just not having very good luck with Corys from wholesalers at the moment. Johnny says, my gold lasers are in my unheated 125. They were spawning at 63 degrees Fahrenheit last night. That is interesting because if you read a lot of the text from people collecting them, and when they're measuring water temperature, there's a lot of corridors where they're measuring water down into like the 60s and the 50s. But I've never seen like a definitive list put together. But when you read the articles, maybe I should start keeping a list. That'd probably be helpful. But I'm always amazed when they say like, oh, the water we tested, it was 59 degrees and all these tropical fish are in this river. Also, no sponsor this week, unfortunately. The 2 sponsors I had last week did drop off. It happens. It happens. Nancy B in Tennessee says, hi, Stephen P. Bob thinks he's the only one that dislikes banana plants. I didn't say that. But I learned that I'm not the only one. I learned that I'm in good company and lots of people hate that plant because I absolutely despise banana plant. My fish combination and plant combination has no banana plants ever. The black Venezuelan chorus from the fish room in Albuquerque are actually Schultzite. Yep. Pretty much all black Venezuelans are actually Schultzite, but the hobby calls them Venezuelans due to some confusion because there are black Venezuelans, but they were never collected and introduced into the hobby, and so yeah. The old phone game. You tell someone, and you go on down the line, and you get some completely different story. Kind of the deal with black Venezuelans and black Schultzite when you read the story of why they're called that. Which we could be the lead for change, but I don't care enough. Mitchell Broom says, I often do water changes to trigger cories by doing 30% plus with 60-degree water when their normal temp is 73 to 74. Regina Phalanges, hello, says Leo, I was having fun feeding my puffer snails during the member stream. I can actually hear the crunch. So the demolition of snails is so cute. I can hear them screaming when they're getting chomped on. Screaming for their life. It's so cute. Connor says, pencilfish and dwarf frog is my favorite for ease of feeding since the pencilfish can't eat the dwarf frog's food and add a good splash of color and activity that brings out the dwarf frogs. Well, definitely having ditherfish for those dwarf frogs is pretty crucial. But that's cool. Like, dwarf frogs, we don't really talk about them that much. Obviously, they're not fish, but when can you walk into a fish store and not see them for sale? I feel like they're everywhere. Yeah, good combo. And anytime someone throws in pencilfish, I'm a fan. Pencilfish, very underrated in the hobby. But they're gaining a lot of traction in the last few years. You go back like 4 or 5 years ago, people are like, what's a pencilfish? I don't know. Isn't it just a tetra? I just found a big group of Apistogramma cockatoides gold fry and about 10 Kudo punctatus fry from Danikin. You just found a big group? Oh, okay. I get it. That's pretty awesome. Always nice seeing fry. And speaking of Apistogrammas, I think we're going to go real quick to the fish of the week, which is an Apistogramma, and actually a really good deal on Apistogramma. It's just the good old-fashioned Apistogramma cockatoides, which these are advertised as triple red. They come from quadruple red parents, which is why one of these photos, this guy right here, is absolutely a quadruple red. And I'm telling you right now, I talked about this a couple weeks ago. This fish for $10 is probably the best fish you're ever going to buy for $10. Absolutely crazy. Now, I did say that I would find out if we can do male females, or at least attempted. I honestly forgot and never found out. So, but the deal with the pistos is the pistos, they don't just breed. Like, you can't just buy a male and female and expect them to spawn. They do have to like each other. So you generally want to buy like 6 or 8 of them and then wait for a male and female to pair off. Now, you could certainly buy just one male and one female and get lucky and have them spawn. But generally speaking, Apistos do actually have to like each other. They're not like guppies or anything else like that that'll just spawn no matter what. Yeah, they do form bonds and pairs, and so you're better off buying a group of them anyways. And if you buy 6 or 8, you're definitely more likely to get both sexes. So I think the medium box holds like 7 or 8 fish, so it's perfect. I think 8. I could be wrong, but I think the medium holds 8. So get 8 of them. Wait for them to pair off. Put some caves in there, spawn them, and sell them. These fish sell insanely fast. They're super popular, super colorful, and have a lot of personality. Highly, highly, highly recommend them. If you've never ordered from Dan's Fish, use the link. You'll get 10% off. There you go. Will 2 females kill each other? Possibly after a spawn. So it's usually best to remove them when they spawn. Either remove the eggs or the parents. Regina Flange says, Caitlin, ridiculously cute. Mine likes red wigglers too. Can you tell if yours is male or female? Oh, talking about their Congo spotted puffers. Chelsea says, pencil fish are the best. I mean, I don't know that they're the best, but they're definitely pretty dang sweet for sure. Why do the quad red and super reds not have the full black line? Some do, some don't. Some have partial lines. It's all about that particular strain of fish. Mitchell Broom says, for cockatoides, for it to be a quad red, super red, it has to have red and black on its pectoral fins, not just red. I'm talking about the black on the female fins. You would know. It's tough to say, like, if they'll develop that color as they get older. I mean, these are only like 1-inch fish right now. Yeah, I can like they're starting to get the black in this one, but again, they're not being advertised as quad red, so that's very important. Like, don't buy that and get pissed if it's not a quad red. They're being advertised as triple red, so. Just put a dwarf powder blue gourami with pencil fish. It seems to be working so far. I would go honey gourami. It takes a while for a nice male to really come into its own. Yeah, and then when you get like a full grown, they get a lot bigger than you think too. Like, you get like a 4-year-old male Episto, 4 or 5-year-old, they're pretty large. We got 150 people, only 50 likes. I don't ask for much, but I do ask for likes. So if you haven't liked it, please like it or dislike it. Either way, I don't care. If you don't like the stream, dislike it. Just pick one. Curtis says rainbows happen to be the best. I'm kind of like, I'm kind of taking a break from rainbows, but they're still pretty freaking awesome. Like, they're still my #1 fish. Medium holds 17 of them. Small. Whoa. They're in the smaller bags. Okay, there you go. Buy 17 of them. Get them in the medium box. Oh, howdy fish fam friends. 125-gallon stand is painted. Now I just need to finish scrubbing the tank and we're off to the races. Awesome. How are the CW62s doing? I was just looking at them today. Kind of funny. I was doing my water changes and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot there were CW62s in this tank. Because on all my tanks, I write down the species of cories that are in them. But when I put those in there, like, I couldn't find my pen. So I was like, well, I can see that they're CW62. So I'll just know that they're in there. I don't need to write it down. And so, like, I just briefly go by and feed every day, right? Make sure there's, nothing funky going on in the tanks. And they're all planted. And I was doing my water change. And I was like, oh, yeah. I forgot those were in there. Still doing well. Haven't lost a single one. They're probably getting pretty close to spawning size, too. Which, again, the fish room will be done this month. So hopefully next month I can start cranking out some eggs. We'll see. Mitchell, I might have to send you some messages asking for advice if I can't get them to spawn. If you hit the like button 3 times, it's said to be good luck. There you go. Mitchell says, an old male Episto, especially cockatoides, the head looks really odd. They continue to grow in size, so you can really have goofy looking ones if it's 4+ years old. Yeah, there used to be a breeder here, And I'll never forget seeing this giant male cockatoides for the very first time. One, I was like, holy smokes, I cannot believe they get that big. And two, I was like, what's wrong with its head? Like, it has this big, gigantic mouth, like this big forehead. It was definitely not size proportionate. But it's one of those things, like, it looks so goofy, like, you have to love it. I don't know. Mike says Eric Bodrock has pretty amazing fish for sale list right now. Tons of rare corridors, including corridors Hephaestus and Pygmea rainbows. Is it on Aquabid? Please tell me it's on Aquabid. Aquabid. Let's just take a look. Corey Denora today. Where's he at? I don't see him on Aquabid. Let me look again. Where is he selling him? I mean, normally he sells. Anytime I bought from him, I bought from Aquabid from him. And I'm not seeing him on here now. What is this? Snow White Corridoras? I have not heard of this. This auction is for 10 Snow White Corridoras, the leucistic version of Panda. Anyone ever heard of this before? Snow White Corridoras? Yeah, the face only a mother can love. Got to be kidding me says my favorite combo was Kubatoy Rasbora, which is the neon green Rasbora, panda loaches, and butterfly loaches. You don't hear butterfly loaches very often. I have royal butterfly loaches, actually, and they are freaking amazing. I did lose one randomly. I don't know why. So I'm down to 7, maybe 5. I don't know. But yeah, royal butterfly loaches. Look them up. Super awesome. I will send it to you. What's your email? Steenfottaquatics@gmail.com. Steenfottaquatics@gmail.com. I will always highly recommend the Kubatoy Rasboras. I'm not pronouncing that right, but easier said is the neon green Rasbora. If you've never seen those, super like they are a neon fish. Like, they look really good, and believe it or not, they look really good in highly planted tanks. Highly planted tanks. Tanks with lots of plants. All right. So they don't get washed out in the green plants. They're so neon-y that they look amazing even with green plants as the background. Xanadu says my Epistogramma cockatoides are almost 2 now and are fabulous fish. They outshine the rainbows in the 75-gallon community tank. I mean, I'm honestly, like, Epistos in a 75-gallon. The very first time I even saw Epistos in real life, someone had an all-male Episto tank in a 75-gallon. They were all different species, but I was like, what are those fish? I need them right now. And that's how I learned about Epistos. This is a long, long time ago. That's my origin story for Epistogrammas. They're also saying it's a leucistic bristlenose that has black eyes, not albinos. I saw some more thing on Aquabid recently. Snow White plecos. Is that a thing? Yeah, the L144 Snow White, which honestly I don't like at all. I don't like them. I think they look goofy. But I'm not a fan of albino fish. I know leucistic is not albino. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. Those Snow Whites. Basically, if you get like an albino bristlenose, they're like that yellow color, and they turn white when they're gonna die. And so that's what, like, I see these white Snow Whites, and I'm like, that fish is gonna die. At least in my experience. I know obviously I know they're not, but that's where my brain goes to. So it's just like, ugh. Are pistos hardier than rams? I would say yes. One, they don't need the higher temperatures. Not that rams really need the high temperature, but I would absolutely... Well, I would say most aquarium bred pistos, so like the most common species, are going to be hardier than rams. Scruffy City Aquatics says, I thought I was the only one that doesn't like albino fish. I really don't like albino fish. I'm not a huge fan of albino reptiles. Albino people. Weirdos, I'm telling you. Oh, I've seen me, myself, and Irene, and those albinos, I'm telling you, they're weird. Legion Aquatics, what's going on, buddy? Says 40-gallon planet tank with Danios and white clouds. What fish can go with them and not get out competed for food? Corridors. Pony Girl says, any advice on sumo loach would be appreciated. Well, like most loaches, they are very communal fish. They like being in groups, so if you have one, I would get more. They definitely like being in groups. No. Well, I wasn't going to say that out loud. I don't know. I've never been a fan, although I do like, figure this one out, I do like piebald pythons, but they're not all the way albino, right? They're like, you know, depending on the content, you know, they're mixed, but they look broken. Like they're not like a regular python, but they're also not all the way albino. They're like, I don't know, they just look like a broken animal, and I like it. What algae eater would you recommend for a 15-gallon shallow tank with neons? You could do like just a good old-fashioned autosinkless. I think they get overlooked a lot. I realize they're really, really popular, but there's a reason they're really popular, and that's because they're really awesome. If you don't want to do autos, you could do like maybe a rubber lip pleco. There's dwarf versions of bushy nose plecos, like the Medusa, which I think is LDA 34, but I might be wrong. There's the Clara pleco, which is, I don't even want to try to guess. But if you look up Clara pleco, CLARA, they're a dwarf version of bushy nose. That would be good too. The movie Powder. I didn't make it through the movie. I couldn't. I'm sure he gets retribution at the end, but I didn't make it to the end, so, you know. I'm looking to get some Danios to try and breed. Y'all pick which one. Hikari Danios. I don't know why. That was just the first one that came to my mind. Hikari Danios. Or Glow Light Danios are pretty sweet. Mitchell says, I really like the Fireline Danio. That's another cool one. I was thinking Corys, but I wasn't sure if they would be shy because of all the movement. Also, what Corys are cold water can go around. Paleotis. Salt and pepper corridors. And apparently orange laser Corys are another one. IHSP's Tank Tribe says, I just got home from paying for my 150s. Now waiting for them to arrive. It sounds like a pretty good time. Powder was one of the greatest movies ever made. Really? I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that. Night Owl says L159 and L519 are both pretty small bristle nose. Davo says, I have one leucistic orange lemon tetra in a group of a dozen. He really stands out. Johnny says L519s are my favorite bristle nose. Are those the honeycomb? Probably wrong, but let's look it up. The old, let's see. Firefox. Here we go. These guys here. L159 Ancistrus. Oh, you actually have 16 of them in stock. What's the price on these? It's kind of small. 99 bucks. Only one picture? Jeez. Max size 5 inches. See, I don't know that I'd want a 5-inch pleco in a 15-gallon tank. I don't know. I don't know that I can get on board with that. Maybe that's generous. Maybe that's like a guy's measurement, right? It's 5. It's really 3 inches, but we're gonna say it's 5. You know, just so we can say it's average. I guess I don't know. A 5-inch pleco in a 15-gallon tank. That's a lot of poop. Night Owl says, my L519 finally started breeding. I really like the coloration of this pleco. I've got L59 Ancestress. And those suckers are huge. They're at least 5 inches, and they're fat. They're very round. A very rotund fish. And I think I might be selling my group. We'll see. I don't know if they're going to make the cut in the new fish room. The 186 Element says, tin Winnie Eye Danios are worth a look. There's so many cool Danios. Like, I hate doing top 5, top 10 videos, but I really want to do one on Danios because there's so many cool species out. You know, I mean, people think like giant Danios, you know, leopard Dan, like all these common Danios, when there's like really good, awesome, rare Danios that are not hard to come by if you just look. The problem is, like, I was actually going to do this video, and I was actually excited for once to do a top 10 video because I hate them. But it was impossible to get any type of B-roll, any pictures. So I'm slowly starting to collect my Danio B-roll stock footage, and hopefully I'll be able to put one of those videos together. Rocky Miles says, I'm trying to find horn neorites for BBA. Opinions on that? I might catch some flack for this, but I would never use neorites for aquarium or for algae cleanup. I just don't think they're very efficient at algae cleanup. I don't even know that they would go for BBA. I've never had one of my neorites go for BBA. Maybe they do. Maybe someone in chat can chime in. But mine, you know, they only go after the typical like diatom algae. But even that, like, they just move so slow. And like, if you have a whole pane of glass that's full of algae and you have neorite snails, they just leave like this small, thin little trail. They hardly get any of it. And it just takes them a really long time. So I don't know. I'm not really a fan of neorites for like an algae crew. K Walker says, I love my pearl danios. Yeah, pearl danios are really nice. And you know, I'm not knocking the common species at all, but there's so many. T-Shot says, glow light danios from Dan's Fish are underrated big time. What a beautiful fish. Yeah, when I was at his warehouse, he had, I think, 2 40-gallon tanks. Maybe they were 75. I don't remember. I'd have to rewatch the tour. But he probably had like 500 glow light danios in these tanks. And that was probably the coolest school of fish I've ever seen. Dylan says, really? Neorites are the best algae eaters I've ever used, including all the snails and catfish. They don't touch BBA, though. I've never had a neorite snail even come close to doing what one bushy nose. Like honestly, throw in like a dozen neorites, one bushy nose will outcompete a dozen neorites, in my opinion. Like, from what I've tried. Like, it's just... If your whole tank is full of algae and you throw in like one adult bushy nose, like all that algae is going to be gone in like a day or two. You throw in neorites, it's going to be weeks. Siamese algae eaters for BBA, someone says, and we got another vote for Florida flagfish. Honestly, it's easier for me, blackbeard algae, it's easier to just remove it than try to get fish to do it. I wonder if anyone has tried mollies for BBA. Okay, they are great at wiping out string algae. I don't know. I'm not a big molly guy. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever kept a molly in my life. The Sturge says the nearest will have 9,000 babies before they clean the tank. Well, that's not true because they don't breed in fresh water. But they will leave a bunch of annoying little eggs that are so hard to get off your hardscape. Just another reason, like, I like near ice snails, but that's why I will never keep them. It's just because all the eggs, they like super glue on. It's so hard to get them off. Bare Bottoms Aquatics says, wait, wasn't it Bare Bottoms Aquariums? Am I in the Matrix right now? I thought it was Bare Bottom Aquariums. I don't know. But anyways, he says trout goodeids eat BBA. There you go. Regina Flandy says, does hydrogen peroxide really work to help control BBA? Absolutely. However, it's not a good solution if your tank is already like completely overrun. But if you're at the point where, if you're in the beginning stages of BBA and you maybe got a little patch over here, some patches over here, yeah, absolutely. It kills it. But with anything, like, it's not going to stop it. Scruffy City Aquatics says it kills it, but it won't prevent it. That's the same with fish. Like, fish aren't going to prevent it, right? Both are just a Band-Aid. You have to figure out what's causing you to get blackbeard algae, ugh, if you actually want to get rid of it. Any, like, cleanup crew, hydrogen peroxide, it's just a Band-Aid. Kay says I can only get the common ones. Yeah, I've been collecting B-roll for a long time, and just got nothing for Danios. Let's see. Go to my videos folder. Go to B-roll, Danios. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only have 9 B-roll videos. Pearl Danios, Orange Hatchet, Glow Light, CPDs, Blue Banded Danios, Zebra Danios, Giant Danios. Why do I hear music? Is there music playing in the background? No? However, if I go to my little B-roll folder and go to, like, rainbow fish, I've got hundreds of B-roll videos on rainbow fish. Same with opistos, catfish, all kinds of stuff. I want to do one on loaches too, because there's so many cool species of loaches that people don't know about. But again, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 B-roll videos of loaches, because they're just all the same. Every time you go to a fish store, it's just always the same. Regina Phalange says, Bare Bottom Aquatics, trout goodeids eat everything. It's pretty incredible. Leo says, just bought a piece of mangrove driftwood for the puffer tank. Nice. Greg D says, combo in my 75. 2 discus, 2 angelfish, 6 corridoras. But what kind of corridoras? That's very important. Excuse me. 10 tetras, 5... Oh, so you say the tetras. 5 ember, 5 neon, 10 coolie loaches. Oh, I love me some coolie loaches. And 4 Endler males. What kind of cories? I mean, I love cories. I got to know what kind of cories you got. Carol Cox chiming in says, blackbeard algae is due to high phosphate. Unless your tap water has high phosphates, water changes should help reduce the occurrence of BBA. Mitchell Broom says, you might check Heather Burke. She basically is the Danio whisperer. She doesn't do much on YouTube, but she has done a few different club talks. All right. I have something new here. I have a notepad for just such occasions. Just picked this up like a week ago, because I always forget. People are always like, you should check this out after the stream. And I'm like, okay. And then after the stream, I take my dogs out, and I forget everything I said in the stream. And everything that was recommended to me. So, let's see. Heather Burke. Dash Danio Whisperer. There we go. What fish would I recommend to make good company to 16 Lucamoles? That's just how I like to say it, all right? Get off my back. It's a 30-gallon shallow. Well, every time I suggest this fish, I get nothing but hate. Y'all are a bunch of haters, but I'm going to say hatchet fish because I just love hatchet fish. I think if the only thing you have are Corydoras, I think hatchet fish, even if it's a shallow tank, are an excellent companion. Oh my god, this stupid thing. Like, what's the deal here? Okay. But every time I recommend hatchet fish, people got to chime in and say, "Ooh, hatchet fish are boring and ugly and bleh. They jump out of your tank." Ugh. I love them. I don't care. A pencil fish is always a good one too. Pseudomcgill rainbow fish would be a good one. Probably just about any rasbora you can find. Night Owl Aquatics says pygmy hatchets are cool. I agree. They're so cool. Never see them. Like, very rarely do I come across a YouTube video and see hatchet fish. Probably because I don't watch fish videos on YouTube, but you know, you just never see them. Chris says, has anybody used Vivi to purchase fish? Is it okay? I have never used it, but there are lots. Well, I won't say lots because there's not a lot of anything on there, but there are reputable sellers on Vivi. Like Marcel, I saw he had some rainbow fish listed there. He's very well known, very popular rainbow fish breeder. So it is an auction website, not an auction website, but it is like an eBay or an Aquabid of fish sales. So you're definitely open for some type of scams possibility, but I'd say it's probably pretty rare. Leo209 Aquatics with a $2 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Says, puffers rule, and snails are puffer food. I agree. Do you recommend gobies for 10-gallon tanks? Absolutely. Not all gobies, but there's tons of small species of gobies that'll do just fine in a 10-gallon tank. I think it's ironic that something that only eats one thing is thriving. Have ever kept giant Colombian ram's horns? I've never even heard of such a thing. Giant Colombian ram's horn snails. Let me Google it. Let's see. Giant Colombian ram's horn snail. I am pretty confident that I have never kept this snail before. I don't know. It's hard to get. How big is giant though? That's kind of subjective. It's kind of neat though. I guess if you've never seen it, here it is. Giant Colombian ram's horn. Kind of cool, you know, stripes. I don't know how big they get, but they don't look like mystery snail size, but definitely look bigger than your typical ram's horn. Pretty neat. Got to be kidding me says, I like aquatic arts for buying fish and have not gotten a sick fish yet. Nothing. It is 100%. That is true. And you got fish from Aquatic Arts? Amazing. I didn't know they still stocked fish. I would enjoy seeing a top 5 video of algae to keep and the positives and negatives of keeping each one. I don't know if that's like a trolling, if you're trolling me or not, but I don't know of anyone that wants to actually keep algae. Although I have tried. I have tried to have blackbeard algae background. And I've been successful twice for a very short amount of time, but then it just takes over everything and the tank crashes every single time. Caitlin says, if we're talking about buying fish online, I would highly suggest Dan's, not just because Bob's an affiliate, but because they truly do an awesome job. There you go. What do you feed autos? Well, if you're lacking algae for them to eat, I would do like cucumbers, maybe French cut green beans in the can. A lot of people get angry when you get this because of the salt. The salt doesn't matter at all. It's just fine for them. It won't harm them. But yeah, there you go. Let's see for Aquatics. They just did a big restock. Alex just did a stream about it. Oh, really? So they actually have a couple fish now? Sweet. But how do we know? See, like, why can't they have... Maybe they do. How do I know what they just got in? Or are they going to make me scroll through, like, every single section? Well, let me just look at Corridoras. Let's see. Nah, they still only have 3 species of Corridoras, so they can't be that big of a restock. Let's look at rainbow fish. They only have 3 species of rainbow fish. All right. What else can we look at? Barbs. They have 2 species of barb. I don't know where this big restock is here, but loaches? Loaches, anyone? Nope. Oh, they don't have only 2 species of loaches. They have no Danios. I guess they do have 3 species. No, 2 species of Rasboras. Wow. I don't know. I'm going to have to go with they still don't have fish. I'm obviously kidding. Don't send the Aquatic Arts army after me. The algae-covered bottom is such a cool look, like grass or that green star coral. If it's that kind of algae, sure. The Blackbeard background was actually pretty cool. It just becomes very hard to control and to keep it out of other areas. But it was definitely cool for like the month both times. I tried it twice. I tried it in a 55, and then it worked for a little bit, and then it just started getting on everything. So then I tried it on a 75 because I figured that extra depth would help me just keep it on the back wall. But no, as soon as it got into the filters and everything, it was just a nightmare. Army inbound. Caitlin says everything used to be sold out. Maybe they just restocked. It looks like they just got a bunch of common stuff. Like everything I'm seeing here is all like the Petco stuff. Petco variety. I mean rainbow fish or praecox and bosemani. Like Corridoras are pygmy albino, like, which is definitely better than not having any fish. I mean, if you're selling fish online, I guess having some fish is better than none. But I used to go to Aquatic Arts because of all the rarer stuff they would get, not this common stuff. I got plenty of places to go for common stuff. I used to go to their website because they always got rare stuff in. Like back when Oddball Aquatics works there, it seemed like they always got rare stuff in. And I'm not that she was in charge of ordering the fish or anything, but still. Like, I don't know. Absolutely 0 gobies in stock. Like, it looks like they just went to like a big Florida farm and bought a Petco order of fish. Leo says, don't Siamese algae eaters eat Blackbeard algae? Yeah, we talked about those earlier. Got to be kidding me says, I can only get algae on my plants and never on the glass. Is that like Anubias? Like, that's pretty common because Anubias grows so freaking slow. Caitlin says, trying to get the motivation to get up and work on the stand and just lurk, but I enjoy part of the chat so much. Hopefully the sun is still shining in an hour. I agree, because I got to go walk the dogs afterwards. So it was literally, I hate saying that, but I do all the time. I don't know why. It was actually snowing here yesterday, which I'm over it. It's April. It shouldn't be snowing anymore. Aquatic Moose says, Leo, you are my favorite goby. What's my favorite suckermouth catfish for under $20? So my favorite pleco for under $20. Honestly, it's probably just a bushy nose pleco. Like just for pure utility of the fish. You know, you can get just the regular chocolate, you can get albino, you can get starlight, all kinds of different options for a bushy nose. Not all of them are going to be under $20, but you can get like a green. All the reds are going to be under 20 if you like albino fish. I don't, but maybe you do. Those are under 20. You mean the dogs walk you, Bob? Oh, no. No. They know. So if Texas succeeds and becomes another country, how will it affect shipping? I don't see that ever happening. So, does auto sinkless count? Absolutely. They are a in that same family. They are. When people ask what's the smallest pleco, people will say auto sinkless. Now there's some technicalities there. I get it, but come on. Aquatic Moose says, wait, I think Aquatic Arts has giant autos. That is legit. I honestly don't find giant autos to be as good as the regular autos for algae eating. Maybe I've just had bad luck with them, but Carlos says a Finis auto is my favorite cheap Loricaridae. Did you pick a day for a second stream? Not yet. It's most likely going to be Friday though. Most likely. We will find out this week. If I'm not here on Thursday, then we know I chose Friday. I think the smarter day would be Thursday, but I usually have a lot going on Thursdays, so I don't know. We'll see. It's really going to be a game time decision. So check that notification bell. All good, Bob. Chance can drive. Yep. Texas has been talking about succeeding forever, but they never do it. Same with like Northern Colorado, Northern California, Eastern Washington. Like talk. That's all politicians do is talk. They don't actually do anything except make things worse. Blind cavefish are cool. See, like I like the idea of blind cavefish more than I actually like. Like the blind cave tetra, in my opinion, is like one of the ugliest fish out there. Like it just is. Like it's cool because it's so bizarre, but at the same time, it's kind of ugly. Like let's be honest, right? I can't be the only one who thinks blind cavefish are ugly. Does Dan still have them? Let's see. Yeah. Look at it. Tell me that this is not an ugly fish. Maybe ugly is harsh, but it is like, this is bizarre looking. It's like bizarro. I wish you could like click on this and make it bigger, but that's kind of better, but I don't know. Like I like glass fish. I like, that's glass fish are neat, but this is just weird. I mean, there's an alien head in there. You can see the elongated dome, the two eyeballs. There's an alien head living in this fish. That is just weird. I don't know. I can't do it. Tell me y'all see the alien head in there, right? Like, I'm just not seeing things. Nancy B in Tennessee says, fish without eyes ain't cute. You could probably say that for just about any animal. All right. Caitlin says they're a bit creepy. I agree with Dan, like, that this would be a cool fish for, like, a biology, like, junior high biology class. Like, get that fish in there, let them talk about it, why, how this happens. Like, I agree with him there, but as a hobbyist, I can't get behind this fish. It's just, it's weird. Connor says that's because it's supposed to not be seen. You paint the tank all around black. Yeah, even the front pane, the whole thing black, no lights. I mean, honestly, like that is what a biotope tank would be like. Like, how funny would that? That would be like a good April Fool's video, right? Making a biotope blind cave tetra aquarium where everything is blacked out. You got a lid on it, so it's like just completely black. You can't even see in the aquarium. You wouldn't even have to buy the fish for that video, right? You could just be like, they're in there. You just can't see them because it's pitch black. That's their biotope. That'd be kind of funny. I'll do that next year if nobody steals my idea. I don't think my ideas are very good very often, but I think that's pretty funny. Good evening, good people. Good evening to you. Davo says he's had those forever. Nobody will buy them. He actually just restocked them. So that pick is mild. We have a massive one, beluga, and it's the grossest fish I've ever seen. It is. I seen it in the video. Stephen Marvin says, working and listening. Can anyone recommend Adrian's Aquatics in Florida? Stephen, I don't have any experience with Adrian Aquatics outside of seeing him at like Get Gills. Let's take a look. Let's just do some research. Wait, am I on? There we go. So we'll go to Get Gills. I think we can just search Adrian, right? Maybe? Did I spell that right? I don't know. I'm just going to assume that this is him. Let's see. I guess it said right under there. Adrian Aquatics. 4.88 out of 5 fish. That's pretty good. Ordered a 3-pack and they arrived quickly and nicely. I purchased 6 Neolamprologus multifasciatus. Box came with 6 plus 1 fry and 2 shells with no DOA. Package was shipped in USPS priority mail. There we go. Rating 4 out of 5. Overall, it was a good experience. All 6 multis arrived alive and are doing fine. If you are new to the hobby or it's your first time keeping shell dwellers, okay. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Looks like he's only got one bad review. Bad being 80%. A 4 out of 5. Oh, so this guy is actually complaining that he got free shells with his shell dwellers. That's why he got 4 out of 5. Come on, Karen. Get out of here. If I'm looking at this, I would feel pretty confident about buying from this seller on Get Gills. I don't know if does he have his own website? I don't even know. I have no idea who this person is, but that's pretty good reviews. Even though there's only, what, 6 of them? 7 of them? That is a gamble I would take. Susan for SLC Aquatics says, Bob, is $10 each too much for orange laser CW 10s? That's a really good price. Uh-oh. Please tell me Corey is here. Please, for the love of God, tell me Corey is here. Aquarium Co-op is here. Oh my gosh, he's not here. Dan just made my night. Dan says, your sound is much better than Corey from... You know what? I'm even going to message... I'm gonna message him right now. We're gonna start some crap right now. I'll tell you that much. Where the heck is my Facebook tab? Oh, it's up here. I know he's gonna roast me right back, so this is probably not very smart. Because you may not know this about Corey, but he is a roast master. But I'm gonna message him. My sound is better than Corey from Aquarium Co-op. I know he's going to roast me. He's going to burn me, but I don't care. All right. I think those humphead glassfish are cool, but they don't deserve the name glassfish as much as others. Have you seen them in person? Because they look way better in person. Regina says, Dan showed that fish in a video. Only a fish a mother could love. I agree. Don't poke the barrel. I'm poking it. Oh, Dan, yeah, it's all good. I know. We're just joking around. My sound has been so awful for so long. That's actually the second compliment I've gotten today from someone about my sound being good. So, I'll take it. Because I have probably had some of the worst audio. I don't know if anyone remembers like 3-4 years ago when like my power supply and my computer was bad, and I went like 6 months without replacing it, and you can actually hear the hum like in the audio. It was so bad, I can't believe it. Like, I don't know how anyone could stick around that and listen to that, but people did, which is crazy. But I will say my audio has vastly improved. Oops. Dang it. I'm waiting for that little bubble to go down where it shows red. Read it. There's just more bass and projection from yours. Yeah, that's the mic. The mic. This is like one of the best mics for the low end. What the heck is this thing? I just saw it in the screen. Got a little fuzzy fuzz there. Actual glassfish are pretty cool since they color up. Liquid Zoo says most people don't notice when he's roasting people during a stream or roasting ideas. He really cracks me up sometime. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, he's a roast master general for sure. Blind cave tetra biotope. I'm telling you. Like rosy barbs, they look far better when they're colored up. Yeah, rosy barbs. I was really surprised. I got my rosy barbs from freaking Petco of all places, and put them in an outdoor tub. Now, all fish look better outside in the sun, but I was really surprised with how good they looked. Don't poke the bear. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nope. They'll probably just ban me now. My LFS is selling a Fahaka at 4 inches for a $139.99. I haven't seen a Fahaka puffer for sale for a very long time. So I don't know if that's a good price or not. I feel like that's probably what they're going for. My favorite was when he roasted that crazy Zillow listing. I don't know about that one. Gordox says tubbing time. It's getting pretty close. If it would ever freaking stop snowing here, like, I'm just so over it. Johnny says my old LFS sold Fahakas for $15 to $20. Yeah, I agree. They used to be a really cheap fish. Like, I haven't seen them for sale on any list for so long. I don't know. Like, maybe they're just skyrocketing in price. Like, Amazon puffers used to be really, really cheap, and now they're getting pretty dang expensive. But everything is. Film the blind cave fish biotope in infrared for the win. But we can't see infrared light. Johnny says we're getting 7 to 3 inches of snow tonight. Well, you're in Wyoming, all right? Like, I wouldn't be mad. First of all, you're getting real snow. I'm not getting real snow here. I'm getting that wet stuff that just ruins everything. It just makes everything a mess. You have real snow. I wouldn't be sad about that. Have a Fahaka that's 6 inches so far. Only 1 inch when I got it for $20, and it's a Faka. Ooh, I almost just swore. Ooh, I'm not even gonna finish that. Johnny at Dan's Fish says we have a really good group of Amazon puffers right now. I agree. Steven says, is $180 for a pair of L134 plecos good? It depends on the size. I have been seeing leopard frog plecos going for as little as $50 lately, but that's also like a 1 to 1.5 inch fish. Honestly, if it's $180, I would expect it to be at least like 3 inches, at least, both of them. Did Brian Barsachek buy that Zillow listing before or after the road? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Like, what in the world is this house? Marlon says, late arrival. I'll need to rewatch the beginning afterwards. Always like your content, Bob. Thanks for all the live stream. Thanks, Marlon. I appreciate it. It's the wet stuff that will already be melted by Thursday. Oh, well, I'm just going off by what I see in Dan's video when he was driving to Denver or whatever. That seemed pretty rad. Like, if it's like, I either need it to be a lot of snow or no snow. Like, that in-between stuff just annoys the crap out of me. Zen Ginger says, holy hell, missed over half the show, but my aunt called and I haven't talked to her in months. But I'm here now. Well, welcome. Whatever happened to the dude that bought LRB's house? That's a great question. What was his channel name? Does anyone know what his channel name was? I don't remember. Someone's got to know, though, right? Amissa says, I keep going to Dan's site and drooling over the Amazon puffers. Get one. Get 3. What's... I don't know. Someone chime in. What's the name? What was his YouTube channel? Let's look it up. Everyone who does tubs, do you bring the fish in during the winter? Does the tank just sit out all summer? How do y'all do it? My fish come in, but the tubs stay out. He's planning to expand the pond. Aquatic Peace or something? Is that it? Aquatic Peace? Peace Aquatics, I think? Okay. I can at least search. Oh, hey, there's over 200 people here. All right. Peace Aquatics. Regular aquarium hobbyist who took over Lucas Brett's house. Okay. Hasn't made a video in 10 months. Only has 5 total videos. So who knows? His channel started off good. Like, his first video got 3,500 views. His next video, 6,500. Then 1.6, 1.7, 2.1. Like, these are all, that's very good views for a new channel. But not everyone enjoys YouTube, and maybe he doesn't like making videos. I don't know. Anything in the community tab? Nope. Who knows? What if he's in the stream right now? That'd be funny. Aquatic moose, but nope, no aquatic piece. I've lived in Denver for 5 years. The biggest snowstorm we had one year was at the end of May. Susan for SLC Aquatics says, I actually went to a family co-op and bought dewormer, fenbendazole, and killed my hydra. Yay. Was that you that was asking about it the other week? Someone was. He did a live stream a while back, and half of it was a 3D tour of the most bizarre house. Oh, the one... And then Brian bought it? Like, I don't know, I'm so confused. Here we go. Lewis says, an underrated stock combination is zebra danios. I would say zebra danios in general are underrated. And rosy barbs both came from the same regions. You can do a cool biotope with them. Zebra danios and rosy barbs. Yep. I could see that. That seems pretty neat. Xanadudu says he seems like a good guy, but not exactly a firebrand personality. Yeah, you don't really need personality, though. I mean, let's be honest. Like, it helps, I guess. I mean, I don't really have the greatest personality, but if you have, like, an entire house full of fish tanks, like, you probably don't need that much of a personality. Looking for... I don't see any live streams on his channel. He probably doesn't know that you need to make them public afterwards. Pearl Danios and Odessa barbs. Giant Danios are awesome. Giant Danios are basically rainbow fish. Like, they act almost identical. Well, probably a little more spastic than rainbows, but Giant Danios and rainbows, good combination. Unholy Orders, good to see you, buddy. He does seem like a good guy, though. I just, now I'm curious, like, is he, like, are all the tanks up and running? Is he breeding and selling? Does he have a, oh, he does have a website. Let's look at his website. Oops. Maybe he's just, yeah, he has a website up and running, so maybe he's just selling on his website. Pearlweed, pennywort, guppy grass, some moss, rotala, some shrimp on here. It's a decent, he has a decent amount of stuff in stock, probably more than Aquatic Arts. Oh man. Pond guppies. Pond guppy. That's a good way to advertise it. Like, advertise them. Cali rum rainbow fish. All right. Or what would be funny? Like, what if this just redirects to Lucas's website? Is that all it is? I don't know. Oh, I see an Instagram link here. Let's check that. Does he post on Instagram? His last Instagram post was 52 weeks ago, so I'll say no. He's got a Facebook link here. Let's try that. Has not made a single post in his Facebook page. So maybe he's not. See, when I see that, now I'd be very skeptical to buy from his website. Like, I'm not saying he's doing anything shady, but like, if you're posting your social media accounts and you're not posting, like, what if I buy this pearlweed and he doesn't have pearlweed? If he's not updating other stuff, maybe he's not updating the website. I don't know. Again, not accusing him of anything, but that's kind of some of the things I look for when buying from places that I've never bought before. Maybe he sold the house. We could probably check on Zillow, but I don't know the address. Looks like all his photos are LRB's old photos. So that's why I was like, maybe it just redirects to Lucas's website. But I don't know. Seems kind of weird. Shamu Aquarium says, I got a 135 gallon with 8 roseline sharks. Awesome. AKA Denison Barbs. Yep. 6 Bozemonis, 2 turquoise, 7 Serpe tetras, 4 rainbow sharks, 2 red tail sharks, 6 cories, and 1 foot-long gold spot pleco. Oh, excuse me. 135 is a really cool size that you don't see very often. If it's the standard 135, it's actually a 7-foot tank, which is kind of neat. Really good. It's a really fun tank to plant. No, it's his website. Lucas helped him set it all up. Well, I guess you would know. Makes sense. Rainbow fish outcompeted by Danios. Giant Danios, I would say. I mean, obviously you're going to feed enough so they all get fed, but I would say giant Danios are way more spastic and food aggressive than most rainbow fish. Have I ever kept ruby tetras? No. Lewis says, I don't know why it isn't more popular like other nano species. I think they're just more expensive, right? Aren't ruby tetras kind of spendy? Or they were when they first came out. Let's see. Can we find anywhere selling ruby tetras? Well, the Axelrodi Reesii is only $2.50, so that's certainly not expensive. Let me search it here. I gotta say, that's one of the best looking $2 fish I've ever seen. Interesting. I don't know why that's more. I mean, that's fairly similar to like a Ember Tetra as far as how good looking it is. And it's got that red. Pull it up for you guys here. That's a pretty neat fish. It's only like $2-3. Yeah, I don't know why those aren't more popular. I don't know what fish I was thinking of, but it definitely wasn't these ones. Huh. Amissa says, I would die for a 7-foot tank and my husband would probably divorce me. I have a 7-foot tank, but it's 300 gallons, not 135. I think it's, well, technically I think it's 280 gallons. I just say 300 because that's more impressive. You know us guys, we always got to lie about size. He even sounded like he wanted to, just kind of didn't. Yep. This is pretty nice. I wonder if I have access to this fish. Because if this thing is $3 retail, that means it's got to be like 25 cents wholesale. Now I got to look. Oh, I already got a copyright strike for the last stream. Oh, well. Okay, let's take a look here. Here we go. Wholesale. List. Tetras. Okay, here we go. Ruby Tetra. Huh. Yeah, that's pretty cheap. Interesting. Very interesting. You know, like a school of like 100 of these would be pretty awesome. But of course, like, am I going to get this Ruby Tetra? Does that even show up? Yeah. Or am I going to get this Ruby Tetra? Like, which one? Oh, Aquarium Glasser. This is probably pretty accurate. I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good red. Interesting. Very interesting. AED? What is that? AED? That's dang it. I know what that is, but now I'm drawing a blank. Gosh, I know the acronym now. Dang it. Anyways, have a 200-gallon with 2 8-inch ornate biters and a new 6-inch flower horn. Have to absolutely black out the tank in the room to get any food to reach the bikers, or the flower horn gets it all. Any suggestions? I know you say you have to black out, but can you at least like feed at night? Maybe. You're definitely in for a challenge because biters really don't have great eyesight to begin with. So we're already, starting from we're not off to a good start right off the bat. Yeah, it's something Dubai. I thought maybe, I don't know. Anyways. it's only going to get worse as the flower horn gets bigger too. I would maybe feed larger pellets, maybe rapashi, like make rapashi a large enough clump. Or you're just gonna have to throw in so much food that it's gonna make it harder to clean. But United Arab Emirates, that's what I thought. Yeah, outside of feeding at night, I don't know what else you can do besides making it really dark, honestly. Maybe you could feed like the flower horn on one side of the tank and then drop in pellets on the other side of the tank for the bichers. But honestly, I would just feed at night. Zen Ginger says, I found my 33 longs on Craigslist because the fish store was remodeling. I had to drive 20 miles. But I got 3 for $100 and they were pre-drilled and perfect for my turtle tanks. There's those retail, like Mars makes them, that huge company Mars, where they're like just rows of 33-gallon longs. And, Atul, thanks for the super chat. I wish I had more for you, but you're kind of in a losing situation there, to be honest. I really do think that's your only option. Feed at night, or feed, get the flower horn on one side of the tank and then drop in food on each side of the tank, essentially. Brian bought that house as a bed and breakfast, put a ton of money into it, and was recently diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He's a big-time reptile guy with a heart of gold. Brian Barchek. I don't know his last name. I can never Barchek. Brian. I can never pronounce it. Sorry. But yeah, recently diagnosed with cancer. Any tips on getting a cat to keep her tail out of the aquarium? If I try to do anything about it, she splashes me and runs away. I have some ideas, but only ideas that would get me in trouble on YouTube, so I'm not going to say them. How about trading it in for a dog? How about that? That's about as mild as I can get. Davo says, try building a feeding cave. There we go. Now that's a good idea. You could do that with like PVC pipes, right? Like if you put PVC pipes in there, your bichers are going to hide in there anyways. And then you can just feed them when they're in the tube. Davo thinks that's actually a really good idea. You got it right, Barchek. Like I always hear other people say Barchek, but when I say it, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Like I don't know why. I just feel like it's wrong. Leo says get a dog because dogs are better. That's kind of what I said. My solution would be to put a lid on the tank. Always keep lids on my tanks because my fish are stupid sometimes. It's always disappointing, right? When you find the fish jerky on the ground. It's like, why would you jump out of the tank? I don't know. I get it. They get scared, maybe they're already cruising around on the surface and you make a big bang or something and they get scared, but man, they just need to stop jumping out of tanks. Oh man. You can literally build an acrylic divider and separate them when they're on different sides to feed, or is that too much work? I don't know. That's way too much work for me. Like taking a divider and putting it in and out every time you feed them, that's too much work. Putting food on forceps and tongs and directing it to the bite, literally force feeding it, just cram it down their throat. – 20 long or 20 high for breeding for profit, guppies, plecos, and shrimp. I would do 20 high. Matter of fact, I did do 20 high, and I actually have a video of breeding for profit in a 20 high. Honestly, either would work, but I feel like guppies would do better in the 20 high. Your cat sleeps on the lights and keeps her tail dipped. So can't you just put like tape, like double-sided tape on top of the light? And so anytime don't cats freak out when you put tape on them? Or they like cheese? Can you put cheese up there and cats freak out when you put cheese on them? I don't know. Could you could like electrify the case, and so when it steps on it, it shocks it. That could work. How many Coste Tetras would fit in a low boy tank? I don't know that I would do Coste Tetras in a low boy tank. Coste Tetras, as I'm looking at them now, they're a bigger Tetra, and a low boy is what, 10 inches. You maybe have like an inch, 2, maybe even 3 inches of substrate. Hey! No chewing. I don't even know what you're chewing on, but you shouldn't be chewing on it. So my Costes, I mean, I would say they're probably about, I mean, mine are pushing like an inch and a half tall. I don't know. I just I don't see bigger Tetras like that doing well in a low boy. Dog, you're gonna get something thrown at you. Just saying. Leslie Perry says aluminum foil. I heard that keeps cats off counters. That's actually, I could see that. The heat of the light is more appealing than the stickiness of the tape repelling. How about just a water bottle? Missed it. Zane says, yes, I love your video on breeding for profit. Just wanted to make sure. Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Sorry about the unnecessary H. What are you talking about? Must not be talking to me. Dogs are better, as Bob has to throw something. It worked. I didn't have to. It was just the threat. Like, I never got spanked by my dad, but when he told me to get in my room and get ready for a beating, every single time I thought I was going to catch a beating of a lifetime, but he never did it. It was just the threat. All right? It was like, and I knew he would never do it, but it was still like this time I was like, he is so mad this time. He's surely going to beat my butt this time. Never did, but boy, I thought he was. That's all it takes. Like, I'm not actually going to throw something at him, but he thought I was. My dog thought I was, so he stopped chewing. Dogs are better than cats. Get a husky better. Leo209 with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Making it known. He wants to make sure everyone sees that comment. Cheese as a cat deterrent. My cat tried to steal cheese out of my mouth. You ever see those videos where people throw like a piece of cheese on like those Kraft singles? Well, that's not like real cheese, but they throw it on the cat's head and the cat freaks out. Oh, it's kind of funny. My cats have never eaten my furniture. These two dogs. It's just furniture. You know how much you can always get more furniture for free. Like, there's always free furniture on Facebook. Always free furniture on Craigslist. I know you're kidding, Regina. I'm kidding too. All I have to do is pick up the squirt bottle and the cat knows. Huskies shed like mad, though. That's not true. My husky shed twice a year. That was it. And it was a crazy amount. But husky hair is really easy to get rid of. All right. These short hair dogs, their hair, it's like needles. And it just sticks into everything. Like, it's so hard to get rid of this their hair. It's so annoying. My husky hair, way easier to get rid of. Dan says, I just got 3 Bolivian rams from the wet spot. I haven't hit upon a food yet that makes it to the bottom. And is that of interest to them? Any suggestions? Rapashi. You could do... I thought maybe I had some here, but I guess not. But you can do, like, Aquarium Co-op has that new freeze-dried food that you can actually stick it to the glass. So you can just stick it towards the bottom of the aquarium, like right on the glass. That would maybe hopefully work, but otherwise Rapashi, and then they can just graze on it and on the substrate. Most cats don't like citrus, so maybe put something like that up there. I feel like the whole comment from Johnny was just like a troll comment, and everyone's taking it seriously. Like, just saying. Carla says, I prefer German Shepherd or Cocker Spaniel. My grandma had a Cocker Spaniel named Lady, and this was before Lady and the Tramp even came out. They stole that name from my grandma. Nobody would ever buy a used mattress, but never think twice about sleeping in a hotel. Always made me laugh. It's an interesting concept for sure. What's an easier fry food than baby brine? Golden pearls. Do you mean like easier non-live food or an easier live food than baby brine? Like, I mean, golden pearls, like 50 micron golden pearls, really good. Fish really love it. And it's just a really fine powder. I will say, be very careful when Googling golden pearls. So make sure you put golden pearls fish food. Otherwise, you might get some other stuff. How long do you leave the Neo CO2 diffuser in water to soak before you can use it? I don't know. I just use it right out of the box. Bob asked an aquarium question and we keep avoiding it. LOL, dang it. This is a fish channel. If it's that question that you just asked, there you go. Where do I buy golden pearls? That's a good question. Let me pull up the website I buy it from. Because I can never remember. Is it Brine Shrimp Direct is where I buy it from. I get my golden pearls from brineshrimpdirect.com. The original golden pearl. And you can get it from 5 to 50 micron to up to 800 micron. I would highly recommend the sampler pack. That's the one I get every single time. So it has 4 different sizes on it. So you can feed as your fish grow. You can feed the right size. Or you could just buy like one of each, whatever. Corys eat dried bloodworms or tube effects. They love, my Corys go crazy over freeze-dried tube effects worms. You definitely have to make sure it hits the bottom of the aquarium. But what I do is, so in my 20 talls, my sponge filter is in the corner, right? So there's like, when the bubbles come up, there's like this little piece in the corner. If you drop the freeze-dried in that little corner, it'll just spin in the bubbles. And then it like breaks apart and it'll get forced down to the bottom. Or that's what I do for my Corys. Because if you just throw it in there and let it float randomly on the surface, it's never going to break up. And then on my hang-on back filters, I'll actually put it in the filter so it spins around and it breaks up really fast and then sinks. Mitchell Broom brings up an excellent point too. You can just use Rapashi in the powder form as well. It's another one. Have I ever tried the Killy Feast food from Brine Shrimp Direct? The only food I've ever got from Brine Shrimp direct is golden pearls. I've never bought any of their other stuff. I couldn't even tell you what other food they have. I'd assume they have brine shrimp. But yeah, I've never done their pellets. I've never done their flake. Just because I have other, like, I like extreme, so that's what I use. How many micron is the Aquarium Co-op one? That's a good question. I don't know if it lists on its website. Let's look. Well, actually, I thought I had that sitting around here too, but I don't. Let's see if it says how many microns. I don't see that it says. Let's see if I can find out. Do you know the micron size? I feel like she's had to have been asked this question before. Of the fry food. If anyone knows, it would be Candy. Bob, start a pond of brine shrimp and sell it. That's actually, I've done it. Like the outdoor tub brine shrimp. I need to do it again because it overwinters. Like they live during the winter. It's really simple to do. And then you just scoop out the brine shrimp in a net, feed it. Oh, come on, answer. I know I have a bottle of it sitting here somewhere. I have to. I might have actually just moved it in the fish room. Maybe that's what my dog's chewing on. I must have put it in the fish room. It's literally been sitting here for like 2 weeks, and now that I need it, I don't see it. Well, if I get an answer in the next 20 minutes, I'll let you know. Read it, Bob. Read it. Bob, do not read my message. I deleted it, but you can always still see it. No, I can't. It's message retracted. I cannot see it. Not out loud anyways. You'll get canceled. I see K Walker. So when somebody retracts their own message, I don't see it. When a message gets deleted by a mod, I do see that. It looks like you said something about anal fish food. What I'm guessing. Sean said the plants behind you are really spreading. I have a small pothos like yours. Yeah, they used to be worse. Like it would come all the way down to my piano, but I had to clear them out so I can at least play the piano without leaves getting in the way. So that's why it doesn't look as big as it used to. Last cat I had was a Singapura. I don't know what's going on around here. It's getting out of control. Matt says it's not on any of the packing I have. Okay. Someone's got to answer soon. Well, got 17 minutes to respond. It was supposed to say small. Samsung, dear God, I'm going to hang out in the dark corner now. Well, if it's auto-correcting to anal, that means that you've used that word a few too many times, and that's why it's auto-correcting. So I don't know what you're doing down there, but let's try to, this is a fish stream, not one of those streams, all right? Amissa says, I'm using micro worms. It's been a learning curve. I love micro worms and vinegar eels. Vinegar eels are, in my opinion, like the easiest live food. What I can do once I find my bottle is I can compare it. Like, I don't have like a micron scope, whatever. I don't even know how you would measure. I'm pretty sure my tape measure can't measure microns, but I can compare it to my different sizes of golden pearls when I find it, and maybe get back to you next week if it takes that long. I'm guessing it's probably pretty close to like the Hikari First Bites. Oh, I think it's a little bit smaller, maybe. Matt West says, I use the aquarium co-op fry food on all of my new nano fish. Yeah. What if a mod mods their own comment? I don't know, Zen. Try to well, let me see. Did that work? Oh no. That just banned her. That's not gonna work. Whoops. That was not what I wanted to push. There we go. All right, she's back. Wait a minute. Now she's banned again. What in the wild world of sports is going on here? Here we go. Oh, well, you're back, but now you're not a mod. There's way, I haven't done this in a long time. There's way more options now. As there used to only be like 3 options. Now there's like 8 options. There. Let's see what that does. Somebody get this stream under control. Holy smokes. There we go. Everything is back to normal. She had it coming. Oh, man. All right. Regina Flangy says, try Hikari silver sides for your bichers. I doubt your flower horn will eat them. I use kitchen scissors to cut up the silver sides into about 1/2-inch pieces, and the bikers go crazy for it. All right. Atal, if you're still here. Atul, if you're still here. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. There you go. Silver sides. Try silver sides. Who got banned? This dude named Leo, 209 Aquatics. Sanjinger says, I felt so vulnerable for like 12 seconds. Oof, what would you ever do? All right, so now that all that nonsense is over, is this a fish channel? Is this a fish stream? Don't ask me why I put a W there. All right, so let's see. I can get rid of Aquatic Peace here. We come to the decision that maybe he's not doing anything. I don't know. I got to get rid of some of these 76 tabs. They're really messing with me. Too many tabs. Gone, gone, gone. don't know why I have so many aquatic arts tabs open. Don't need that. All right, much better. Okay. Plant for profit. Stem plants. Stem plants, and more stem plants. Stem plants grow really fast. You really don't see a lot of stem plants in like retail areas of the internet. There are some people that do stem plants, but there's no one that does it well. Let's put it that way. I've gotten lots of reports from people buying stem plants from places you think would do a good job and end up getting just mush in a bag. So stem plants, there's always a demand for stem plants. And really any of the Rotalas, any of the Laguidias, they all sell really fast. What are silver sides? They're a fish. A fish. You usually can find frozen silver sides at in like where the bloodworms are, frozen bloodworms. Depending on the size of the store, not smaller local fish stores usually don't get silver sides, but if you have like a larger LFS and maybe have some reptiles or turtles, silver sides are really popular with turtles. Can't grow stem plants. Everyone can grow stem plants. They're so easy. Oh, I got a message. Is it? Nope. Can't grow them. Oh. Bait and tackle shop. Any idea where to find live tubifex worms? So you get your aquarium, fill it with water, put some old substrate in there, wait about 8 months, and they'll just appear out of nowhere. That's how I get mine. Just get it nice and nasty and a lot of gnarly surface film, no oxygenation, and the worms just start showing up. But in reality, no. I've never I've never purchased live tubifex worms. Probably eBay. Live tubifex worms for sale. This place is not in the US. That's not gonna work. Out of stock. What about Goliad Farms? They seem to do live foods. Let's see. Shop. Really? There's no way to... Is there no way to sort fish on their website? Really? You just go to shop and it just lists all the fish. All right. Seems kind of weird, but okay. Can I search on their website? There's no search feature either. Am I blind? Is there no search feature on GoliadFarms.com? Guess not. All right, well. I don't know if they have them. No, I don't know. I'm sure people have said something in chat by now, but... Flynn, what's going on, buddy? Says, I got this on the background while I get some studying done. Right on. Good to see you, buddy. Always happy when you stop in for a minute. Hope everything's going well up there north of the border. Laguidia marilia. I have not heard of that one. Connor, never heard of it. Sydney's Angels just released a video whereby he mentioned that he was using Sarah Micron instead of co-op fry food because the Sarah was smaller for his tiny fry. Yeah, and we'll have to get to the bottom of it. I don't know. Once, well, I'll see what I can find out and report. Remind me next stream. I'll figure it out this week, and next time I'm live, just ask me again. Hopefully I can find out. Local seafood shop might have white bait if you can't get silver sides. Also, Asian markets, at least around here, have silver sides usually, or some type of minnow. Kay says, when I first started, I couldn't afford anything else other than stem plants. Didn't matter what tank or substrate, I failed. Maybe now that you have more experience, maybe try them again. I don't know. They're generally, like, obviously not all of them are easy, but like Rotala indica, Rotala rotundifolia, all really easy plants. A lot of the Lugwidia is pretty simple. But I guess, you know, if they don't like your water, they don't like your water. For instance, I'm trying to get myself a 10-gallon planted, but I'm moving for work too often. It's tough being fishless. It does. It makes it hard if you're traveling too much. Oops. It's one of those rare plants, but it's less than Repens on Boost Plant's website. Here we go. We got someone chiming in on a piece. Aquatics says, Ben Sharp says, I purchased from Aquatic Piece. Shipping is fair and quality hasn't changed. He is super busy. I wonder if he's like still working his full-time job and doing this at the same time. I mean, if he's shipping fish and also, well, one, if he's running that entire house, like if all the tanks are still set up, if he's still shipping, and he's still, you know, I think he was an engineer. If he's still doing his full-time gig there, then you're not going to have time for YouTube. That would make sense. I thought Corey said the co-op fry food wasn't uniform size. It's not uniform size, but neither are golden pearls. So if you go to Brine Shrimp Direct, that's why there's like, you can't just buy like 50 micron. It's 50 to like 150, and then like 150 to 300. So yeah, none of it is really uniform. Is Regina Phalanges leaving? Susan's leaving. Well, thanks for stopping by, Susan. Always enjoy seeing you as well. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. I think it is getting pretty late on the east side over there. I tried aqua soil. I'm not a big fan of aqua soil. Sand, gravel, and large gravel. I think they hate me. Well, again, with plants, you got to do you got to research what plants are going to do well in your specific water parameters, just like fish. Next time you come up to see Corey, there is a fish shop in Silverdale you should check out. They have a unique selection of fish and supplies. I'd like to know what you think of it. I'm too new to know. What's it called? I had no idea. Oh, Farmland, Silverdale. Isn't that down by like Tacoma? Silverdale, Washington. I thought that was south. Is it? Let's see. Maps. Yeah, Kitsap County. Oh no, you're on the west side over there. Okay. Whew. When would I ever make it out over there? That would be a pretty long haul for me. I mean, I have heard of Farmland. Like, people have talked about it, but that's a pretty long ways to go just to check it out. Like, I don't know. That's pretty far. I'll definitely check it out if I'm in the area, but that's not even by Corey. I mean, that's like a ferry ride. Yeah, that's not really by the co-op. At least it's only the 30-minute ferry ride, but even that, I don't even want to know how much a ferry is these days. Probably like $30 for one person. I'm certainly not driving around. That's never going to happen. I'm north of Edmonds. I am north of Edmonds. So it's not en route for me, my friend. Well, maybe one day Corey and I will go and make the rounds again, and do another local fish store trip like we did a couple months ago. Maybe check it out. I just grind up tropical granules with a mortar and pestle to powder, and then use a co-op sold bottle to feed shrimp tanks. Yeah, you could always get one of those, grind up your own if you have to. Sorry, I thought you were in Oregon. No, I'm in Washington. I'm in very, very north Washington. Well, not very, very north, but I'm north. I'm very north, not very, very north. How about that? I saw a video on YouTube where a guy was able to spawn thousands of Kase tetras in one spawn from just one female and 2 males. Well, I mean, that's egg scatterers, right? Egg scatterers will... You can get a lot of eggs out of some of these egg scatterers, I'm telling you. And they'll go for like weeks at a time, just eggs. Red Star Laguidia is growing with a higher life for me. I've never heard of Red Star Laguidia. I've heard of various red species of Laguidia, but that's neat. Back in the day, I worked for a pet store in Everett called Jones & Company. I know of them. I was sad when they shut down. They used to have this really good selection of fish in their Marysville location. Don't know if they are still in business. They are not. Mandy, I bought all their fish for a penny when they closed down. The owners just retired. They didn't even try to sell it. They literally just retired and then sold off everything in the store, from all the products to the stands. Even the cash registers were for sale. And a lot of the longtime employees were mad because they wanted to buy it. So there was there's Jones & Company Pets. There was 3 locations, same owners forever. They retired, and then some of the long-term employees were like, "Can we buy it?" And they're like, "No, we're done. We're selling everything and moving to Arizona." So, yeah, I think it's very unfortunate because, I grew up in that store. I remember going to that store in the 80s and looking at reptiles and fish, because there was that one in Linwood or Alderwood. And that was my favorite. It was this massive pet store. I was in heaven. It was huge. To me, it was like going to the zoo. It was just crazy. Yeah, they just shut it down. They were like, "We're done. No, you can't buy it. We want to sell and it didn't make any sense to me. But yeah, they had a nice fish section, nice saltwater section, freshwater and saltwater. In the end, the last couple years, the reptile selection really went to crap. The one in Marysville, they were down to just a couple tanks with anoles and things like that. Linwood was a flagship store. Yeah, anytime as a kid, I would just beg my parents, "Can we please stop there? Can we please stop there?" I have so many fond memories of that place, and then the owners were just ditched it. Pretty bitter. But I did buy all their fish for a penny, and then I took those fish to a different pet store and got trade-in credit for them. So, buy low, sell high type of thing. That was pretty fun. And I actually still have a few things left over. Their Malaysian driftwood was 90% off by the end. The last week they were open. And I didn't buy any of the 33 longs. They had those same Mars systems that I was talking about earlier. They had 33 longs. I didn't buy them because they were drilled. I didn't want them drilled. But yeah, Mandy, sad day. They just screwed over all the employees. Like, man. Yeah, I'm still bitter. Still bitter. Do you have like super low TDS, nothing in the water? That sounds like nutrient deficiency. Oh, did we get, I've tried floating them and they get smaller and smaller, sort of grow into a weird ball. So I think not enough light. If you're floating them, they should have plenty of light because they should be like right under the light. So that I wouldn't think that's it. I would definitely lean towards some type of nutrient deficiency. Hey, I resemble that remark. Wheeling and dealing. It was I was like, all right. 1 penny for all these, like every single fish was a penny. I was like, I'll take them all. Drove to the next closest LFS and I was like, I've got all these fish to trade in. Now I just got in-store credit, but still, I mean, I made like $100 and some. So yeah, that was pretty sweet. Sad not even trying to sell it. Yeah. The only thing I can think of is they thought they could get more by like piecing it all out like that than by just selling it. But you would think after being in business for like 60 years that they would have some kind of nest egg. It's like, I don't know, maybe they were just broke. I have no idea. They wouldn't even entertain off. Like if I said I wanted to give them 10 million, they wouldn't even listen. They were just like, nope. They're like, we want this store to die with us. Jerks. But anyways, it is that time. It is that time of night. It is over. So thanks everyone for coming. I appreciate it. I still haven't decided Thursday or Friday. Like I said, it'll be a game time decision, but there will be a second stream this week. So look forward to that. It'll be either like noonish Thursday or noonish Friday. Other than that, thank you all so much. I hope you have a great week. And you know what? Why don't you guys treat yourself to some new fish? Go out to your local fish store and buy some fish. I'll allow it. If your husband or wife complains, send them my way. I got your back. I'll set them straight. How about that? I'll set them straight. But otherwise, I will see you all in hopefully just a couple days. Right? I think. I'll wait while the dogs pee. What? I don't know. Been fun. See you later and good night.